Wow, I'm sat in an oven right now, but I don't care. I can handle this. Hello, everybody. There is currently a heat wave in Britain, which is why I said that as the time of recording this. But we're not going to focus on that today. We're going to distract ourselves by talking to another lovely guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is William Bosca. I have been voice acting for about two years, 3 years now, and still haven't gotten too much experience out there. But I believe I am starting to get some soon. But I won't say anything yet.
Yeah, you got to keep the NDAs in check. It's
Absolutely.
it's so hard, especially when you get chosen for something that you really want to tell people about.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
You must know what I'm doing. And it's like, I can't, I agreed. It's so hard.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I'm keeping it locked down. No one knows, just me.
yep. Keep it quiet for now, and then you can go. You have no idea how long I've held that in. Oh, it gets hard, but part of the job. All right, so first question that I normally ask everybody is, what made you want to be a voice actor? What really made you want to make it into a career or even a hobby, anything like that?
I think first when I started doing voiceover, this was, back in COVID era.
Mm.
Everyone's locked in. No one wants to talk about those times right now. But I think by that time, I just kept watching, like, videos here and there, people starting their voiceover careers. And I thought to myself, "Oh, that would be cool." But um, I think it was around 22 where I started to like really see these videos and I was like, yeah, because I've had experience in like theater at school and stuff like that, and I think soon enough I just kept thinking, what if I tried that? And soon enough I just searched online, found some classes, and here I am.
Yeah. I will say, you've started out in a similar manner to most people, so you're definitely on the right direction. You've, like I said, you're doing classes, and even when you've had experience, you're still gonna learn. You're still gonna want to need to do classes at times. But one thing I forgot to mention, I think a few episodes ago when classes were mentioned with previous guests, is that don't take classes if you can't afford them. They do help you a great deal, but you don't have to do them all the time because there are classes you can take for a much cheaper price. You've just got to look around and do your checks.
Yeah, absolutely. There is, so one of my teachers who I've like, he was my first teacher, Rob Holt. Um he has like a class that's kind of like around my area. I've gotten to know him like very like personally. And I think most of it is when I first started, I did pay like the big classes. And honestly, it it's hard to feel like, is it worth that? To me, it did help me a lot. But I think after a while, when I started looking more into other classes, like bigger names, stuff like that, and it's like, oh, you got to pay like at least 100, and I'm like, maybe not. Maybe that's not my class. But I found like little workshop, like even just little workshops help so much, and it's only like $30
Mm.
some places. So I think like if you can find those types of classes where you feel like it's cheap but you still get the experience you wanted, that works. But if you feel like it's not what you thought it was, you got to save your money. That's like the biggest thing to do.
Mm. I mean, as tempting as they are, you think, yeah, it's like you say, is it worth that much money? Because I think there's a lot of people, including myself, have made that mistake. Because the first classes I took, I paid more than I should, and then I got told like, well, you don't have to do that, and then I got pointed to all these other places and what workshops were and what they were all about, and Well, let's just say things have really looked out a lot better since then.
Yeah. I would definitely say like if you're starting out, find like the basic stuff, like the basic class for voiceover,
Mm.
and then start to like go more into detail. Find ADR, find like accent, find all these like very specific classes. Because if you go from like a one, like, oh, here's voiceover 101, and then you go to another one, and it's like maybe you're being told the exact same thing, and you just wasted like another $100 just to
Mm.
hear the same thing. And it's like, just explore. That's like the biggest thing with voiceover is you have to explore, you have to experiment with everything.
Yeah, because 101 is essentially those who are starting out and don't know what to do right away. So yeah, you don't want to keep repeating that because that is not the way to go. Because as soon as you step in that second time you've been in, you'll realize, wait, I already know this. So yeah, absolutely. Look out for lines and look out for who's teaching it. And normally you get some really good teachers out there. Most of them are in professional voiceover as well, who will also run as coaches at the same time. Coaches are a little more expensive, but maybe that's something if you want to have a. Maybe if you've done a few jobs and you want to have a little more experience, you can do coaches down the line, I suppose. But it is entirely up to you on the direction you want to take it, because we're all different. We all have our own journey to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you voice act, what's the most challenging part for you personally?
Uh, oh. I feel like with doing voiceover, I usually try to like, I definitely try to control my volume as much as I can
Mm.
because a lot of times I could find myself like almost sounding like this where I'm like almost because I almost think maybe that's like me talking normally.
Mm.
But then when I go like I'm going to be like this, going like and then soon enough when I hear back the audio it's like maybe I'm clipping or maybe it's not even registering me. So I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I want to be expressive, but I don't want to be like over the top with everything or like just so monotone that the thing can't even hear me. So it's like being able to be the character that I'm trying to portray, but not be like too uh like grand about it,
Mm.
if that works.
Yeah, it's like you need to like have a blend of what is expressive in a natural manner to being cartoony expressive or over the top expressive. It's kind of well, let's put it this way: it's knowing the differences between between those categories, and it's like when you audition for something, they will often say to you, if it's a serious production, they'll say, don't go over the top like how cartoons do it, and don't sound like an anime character. And there are some I've read who do genuinely say that. So they'll just say, oh, just be natural, but be expressive. Like, try and get in the head of the character by after reading the description. And in an audition, that can be very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always had so again, my coach, he would always tell me like you have that voice because he always notices how like my voice is a little deeper. So I can do like lower tone voices while he can do like higher
Mm.
because I can't do that. And that's like one of the things that's always so great about voiceover is that I could do something that someone else just can't do. And in that moment, maybe it's what gets me cast.
Mm.
But being able to know when to like just hear my own voice because if you can hear it right now, I imagine it sounds like you can hear the lower tone, but I'm trying to be like more high. But
Yeah.
again, it's like trying to trying to be convinced by your own voice. I think that's one thing with voiceover that might not be talked about too much is that it's like you have your own unique voice. No one can do your voice besides you.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can find a way to like have your voice sound the way you want and you are convinced with it, then you can do so much more.
Absolutely. That's the one thing you need to especially learn when you're just starting out. You've got to not only get used to the sound of your voice, but understand where your range is. Like, are you medium? Are you low to medium? Medium to high? Things like that. And that's when you know your range. That's when you can understand what sort of voices you're able to do when you do auditions or when you're offered jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I obviously try to be more in the like low range, but you know, you you don't want to gatekeep yourself if you can find a way to maybe do mid, maybe do high mid. But for me, it's like I can see myself being mid to low. I don't see myself going high because, soon enough you might do it too much and you start like ruining your voice. You
Mm.
start cracking, and soon enough you actually damage your voice, which is something like you really got to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they say, your voice is an instrument, and if that voice is your job, you don't look after that. That's your job completely gone, and that is
Yeah, absolutely.
that's sometimes a big worry for me personally. I'm One thing I'm scared of is, might sound a bit hypochondria here, but maybe because I am a little, but I am scared of getting sick because when I'm
Mm.
sick, I can't do auditions. And it kills me that they pile up and pile up, and then I've got a lot to catch up on when I'm better. And it drives me insane that I can't just go and do them.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting sick is definitely like one of, not one of the worst, but it's definitely up there with like a lot of other bad things for voiceover people. But I think it's like it it's a good way for you to know like, hey, I need to stop what I'm doing and take care of myself. Like, you could see it as a bad thing, but I can also see it as, hey, maybe I just need to step back a little bit, find out why I'm sick. Maybe it is just like allergy season, or maybe I'm doing something that could be making me sick.
Mm. So there's always an answer to that, but it's just when you go through the sickness. I'll tell you what, this always happens to me is I've had no auditions for a couple of days, and then I suddenly start to get a cold, and because I'm coughing and sneezing and I sound bunged up, my voice doesn't sound at its best. So I have to take a little bit of time off for my throat to recover. And while I'm recovering, 5 auditions pop up at once. And I'm like, oh, what? And I can't do them right now. And then there's at least one that says, oh, it's a quick audition, so we've only got like a week. And it's like, oh, I might not be well before then.
Yeah.
That really, really irks me, that. Especially if it's something I find really, like I find a really big interest in it, and then I realise I can't do it. It's not a massive loss at the end of the day, because there will always be more roles to take on. But at the time, it really eats at you.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine. I don't know when I definitely had at least one time where I got sick and I was like, there's this one audition that I'm like so wanting to do, and it's almost like you're wanting to try to force yourself to be better, but it's honestly like you can't, until your body says you're okay, you can't really force yourself.
Yeah, just gotta grin and bear it sometimes, especially if it's your throat. Do you mind telling everybody what characters you have voiced, if you can remember some of them?
So funny thing is, I have not gotten a voice yet.
All right.
I have gotten my first gig, which I still can't talk about, which, hopefully that'll be my first voice. And I think that's something to think about, is that it's like you could be in this industry for a year, maybe more, and you might not have a voice yet. And that can definitely drain on you.
Yeah.
It definitely drained on me when I would do all these auditions. I thought, "Oh, I did a great job with this. I hope they like it. But then they go to someone else, and it's like, you want to be as happy as you can. Like, you
Mm.
want, the thing I always find myself doing is I want to listen to whoever got cast. Because if I could hear their voice, it'll make me think, okay, they got picked because they did this for their audition, or they had this sort of thing in their voice that made them get cast.
Mm.
So I can learn from whoever got the role, and maybe I can start, like, putting it in mind, but still being myself.
Yeah. One of the good things that I've discovered that you can do during auditions is ad-libbing is your friend, because most say on the audition sides that they're fine with ad-libbing because they'd like to see where you take it, because they want to see your imagination run wild with what you've been given. But a lot of them will say, do the first take as it's written first, and then if you want to ad-lib on a second or third take, you go ahead and do that, because I'd love to see what you can bring to this and what personality you can create through that.
Yeah.
And there's some other things as well, like each take you could do a different accent for each take as well, because even if the only time you wouldn't do that is if they stated that this is the specific accent that they want, and then you just stick to that. But any other time, it's like I do standard American a lot for a lot of productions. But sometimes in my takes, I'll use my normal voice, or I'll posh it up a little bit, or I could do a different accent, like a European accent, any other one I can do that I think would suit the character best. And if you seem creative, normally they would either put you in a callback or they would absolutely take you. But you never know. It's always worth the risk, I guess.
Yeah, I could definitely say, like, from experience, ad-libbing is, like, such a great way to show the director, like, hey, I can do this thing that maybe someone else can't do. It's like that little thing in the back of their head where they're like, who is that one person that did this? And they start looking for you, and they find you, and they're like, I kind of rock with this person. Let me shortlist them, or let me, like, give them a call back. It's so, like you said, like, the first take, do it like they want it. That is so important that you can follow their directions. Directors need to know that you're going to be on their, like, mindset.
Mm.
They do want to see you be creative. So absolutely, like, first take normally, second take, start experimenting with it. Maybe try like a chuckle to start the line, or maybe do like a huh, like you're confused about what you're doing, and it's like, just doing those little things can be what gets you the role, and it's
Mm.
so important to try that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I did that in one audition and it won me a role, and I couldn't believe it. Absolutely. Because I was told by the director as well, they said, your ad libs were really funny and I laughed listening to it and I really wanted you a part of it. And I thought, oh my god. Oh, that's really good to hear. I'm really glad that's really helped you. But at the same time, I'm also, I can't believe it. I'm that am I really that talented? Was I that good? No, I can't have been. There's got to have been better people than me, but they just know who to choose.
Yeah, absolutely. To be able to, like, get the director to laugh at what you did, or just to, again, just to be like, who was that person that did that thing that got my attention?
Mm.
If you're just able to do something that can get them to, like, look at your take, maybe just to listen to your take a second time, because soon enough, that can be what gets you the role.
Yeah, it's always exciting when I do an audition, because I think, right, how am I going to do this? And while keeping it mostly straight at the same time, I'm like, okay, maybe this take I could sound like this, or I could say this, or add this on. Like, sometimes if you got a take that says, oh, they're a bit angry, or they're a bit annoyed, or frustrated, you could maybe add some mumblings in there and like murmuring words like stupid thing, what's this all about, why they make me do this, things like that, and just kind of add words onto it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's all about listening to them but thinking for yourself and just showing what you're capable of, and it's a good blend really to go with. So if you'd not got a character yet, but this one you're coming up with that you can't talk about, it would be your first character. So what other sort of voices have you done? Have you done like fan dubs of animations or any comic dubs, anything like that?
Again, this is the first one. This is the first one that I've like actually gotten to be a part of. Which again, that's like super important to be able to have like the first one, even if it's like something so small, because that's what gets you like, something to put on your resume, or just something to say, hey, I voiced this character in this thing. And then they listen to you and then they're like, wow, I think this person would work with my character, or there's this thing that I know that maybe they would work with it. It's like to know that the voiceover community is so like, also, I gotta just say right now, the voiceover community is like one of the most welcoming, like just upbeat people that I've gotten to meet in like the past year alone.
Yeah, they
To be able
absolutely
to
are.
find, but yeah, just to like know that you could find somebody who knows somebody. It's like that whole thing of like, I know a guy who knows this guy who knows this person. It's like soon enough they start to like, you start to get those connections that can help make your career. Connections are like one of the biggest things with voiceover. If you know somebody who can help you like get your name out, then that's like the best thing you can do.
If you can establish friendships with people, that also comes under networking, but it's not just about the job. You've got a friend for life too, and it just makes you feel more loved, really. You feel fortunate, you feel just like, I've met this amazing person. They can help me sometimes and I can help them in return, but we're best friends now and I love them, and it just makes you feel so good about yourself, and you make them feel good at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that I've done. Like, so on my Twitter/X, I've been doing the demo reposts. That's like the thing that I've done the most with my platform, where I just repost somebody's demo that I find. I start saying like, oh, this person does like a great voice range. I did yours. I did so many people, and I'm still doing it. And half the time, just a lot of people will say like, oh my God, thank you so much. This really made my day. To me, that's what I love about it. I just love that I get to help spread their names out further, and to be able to like help them in a day maybe they just aren't feeling that great, or maybe they're down on their luck with stuff. And just to have like this person who maybe you just don't even know to like, say these nice things, or just to send out your demo again. That's like one of the things that I love so much about doing these demo reposts.
Yeah, they're a nice touch. I mean, you did that one for me just the other day, and that made me feel very happy at the time, because I felt like I felt seen. And not to get down or anything, but most of the time I don't feel seen by people, especially when I'm just being me. But when I get the odd occasion where somebody takes notice and says, oh, I just want everyone to know this person is a voiceover artist, they're really nice and all that, and it comes as a complete surprise to me that it just pops up, and I feel seen, and I feel like, I maybe I shouldn't put myself down so much as I do, and I just should be happy with what I have and just feel fortunate. And whenever it pops up, I do get those feelings, and I'm really grateful to basically to you and anybody else who's ever done it for me in the past. And so yeah, thank you again for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, to me, if I know that I got to make somebody's day just by doing that, that's what I want to do. I just want to be that one person who can like find what you do, and if you have like this great show of your talent, I just want to show it. I want to show it to more people.
Mm. I will tell you this: when you get your demo done, if I come across it, I'll be sharing yours around. Once you say, "Hey, I've got a demo ready," I'll share it.
Absolutely. I definitely have like a sample demo. It's not like an official one, but I do want to get it finalized and get some stuff going with it. But
Mm.
I'll happily send it out, and hopefully, yeah, I'll get to see your post about it.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That'd be really cool. Love to hear what you've got. Okay, so you've done several auditions. Was there a project that you've auditioned for that you really, really wanted to get, and you just obviously didn't get it, and anything like that, and you felt that sort of disappointment? But was there anything that made you feel that way when that you didn't get?
I think I gotta go with you know the Averon show.
I'm.
I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know.
I don't think I'm familiar with that. No.
If you ever find it, it's like there was this character Timber Tusk. Absolutely was enthralled to try to be this character. I think the thing when and I'm sure whoever might listen to this video and stuff, if they go and find the platform that they're on, they'll find who got who got the role for Timber,
Hmm.
and absolutely amazing. Got like he did an amazing job. For me, when I did my audition, I definitely felt more like, because Timber Tusk is like this mascot. He's like a moose mascot character. So in my brain, when I was doing the audition, I definitely played into the mascot.
Hmm.
I was goofy, I was lovable. I tried to like just be like, if you're the mascot and you're looking at a bunch of kids, that's what my brain was going to.
Yeah.
But when I heard the other guy who got cast, who did Timber, he sounded more normal. He sounded like just a guy who was in a mascot costume, which for him, it worked out. And I totally was, again, I loved his take. And obviously, the people who do the show, they loved that. They loved it as well, that they gave him the role.
Mm.
Obviously, when I had heard when he got casted, because the Averon show would do the rejection emails. And honestly, that was like the best email that I ever got to listen to or to read, because it was so personal, and the fact that they had to do that for like, I think it was almost over like 600 people alone, or maybe even more,
Hmm.
that they went person to person, did a complete like personal email for you, like telling you how you did, that they thought like, oh, you did a great job with this, we really loved how you did that. And to me, when I got mine, and that they told me like, oh, like yours was so great, we almost like were gonna like shortlist you. And I thought to myself, oh, I was so close to getting shortlisted, but it did bum me out. But the thing was, that email like got me right back up. Like, I almost didn't even feel bummed out that I didn't get the role, because they did that for me.
Yeah.
They went to such personal lengths to make those emails, and it totally like lifted me back up.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why they did it, because they wanted everybody to feel like, even though they didn't get picked, they're still very talented, they were still highly considered, and they would absolutely consider them if there were other roles in the future that they could try out for.
Just so I make sure that the show is actually pronounced right. Aavarion show on YouTube, on Twitter and stuff. So if you listen to this and you want to go check them out, please do. It's a great show. It's like a horror themed platform.
Oh, do you know what?
But
Now
it's
that
like
now
it's
that you
really great.
mention it, I actually think I have seen it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think I know the one you mean. I think I did audition once for it, quite a while back now, and I didn't get in. And I do remember getting an email saying that I didn't make it, and it was a very pleasant way to say sorry you didn't get in. And yeah, thinking back on that, yeah, I think I am very familiar with it now.
Yeah, they have like such a great uh group that they got, because when I got my email, it was just like it was so caring. Like
Yeah.
they didn't put me down. They didn't like try to do anything to like twist their words. They were so honest with how they like saw my audition, and they told me. And
Mm,
I loved it.
that was really sweet of them to do, honestly.
Yeah, especially with how many they had to do. I couldn't even imagine having to do that many.
I don't know. It'd take a lot of work alone just to do the rejection emails. It's incredible how much work they put into it. That mean just doing them emails alone shows a lot of dedication.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why they got like so much that's why they have so much love for the show, because they care.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of other casting directors don't have time for things like that, and I understand, but they must have a reasonable amount of people working on this in order to take the time. And honestly, that, again, it's really touching to know that.
Yeah.
Any voice actors that you've like seen over the years or listened to or even listened to now that you're a fan of, um, which ones inspired you to go for it yourself?
Again, because there's so many of them, that I think I'll do like a just like a quick list of who I can possibly name.
Yeah.
Nicholas Manzo, usually called Nick. He's always a great dude. He was so nice to talk to, and I loved all his all the stuff that he's been doing is super great. Um Joey Hobby, he's a guy that I got to meet like pretty early on with my career, and he's totally fun. Brian Servino, I believe that's how I pronounce it. If I got it wrong, please forgive me. Um, Recently, actually, he got his account like it's in limbo right now, so he's getting his previous account up. But if you haven't followed him, go follow him. He's super great. There's like a ton of people that I could name. Ethan Lopez. His voice is phenomenal, if I can say that. But yeah, there's just so many people that I can name. Sean Goober, Mike. I'm so bad with last names. I can never like really pronounce last names too good.
I'm the same, don't worry.
Delamorte, Delamorte, I think that's how it's. Mike Delamorte. Again, if you can search these people up, go give them a follow. They're super awesome people. Yeah, again, I could list like so many names that it could probably take up a good portion of this recording. But again, go
Yeah.
follow those people, find more people. There's so many people in this community that have amazing voices that I just love to show.
Oh, definitely. Give them all a follow if you can. I get that you don't want a huge follow account, but follow as many as you can. You never know how you know how the community works until you become a part of it, and you will not want to look back once you're in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
For any auditions you've done, have you ever come across red flags that you've felt maybe I shouldn't audition for this because something feels wrong?
It is hard to feel like you can, because if you read like too into a thing, like into the description, maybe it starts to like wave you the wrong way. So it's like I try to read as much as I can for the directions. Maybe sometimes I've just missed a certain thing that they say, or like a direction that they said that maybe a more professional voice actor might like see as the red flag, but maybe not me.
Hmm.
I think like the most that I've ever seen that people say is a red flag is, you know, like early casting.
Yeah.
While I totally agree that it is like it's not a good look if the director can't follow the deadline that they set up, it is also like it's hard to feel because what happens if you get shortlisted or you get chosen for the role? It's like you want to feel like, hey, it's not great that you didn't follow the deadline that you set up,
Mm.
but you also chose me, which is like conflicting. Like you almost feel like you want to just take the role. But again, it's to me, it's hard to choose like how to feel about that. It's obviously much easier to feel like, hey, that's not okay to do when you're not the one that gets casted
Mm.
or gets the role. But if you're the one that did, then you're like, do I keep this or do I like back away?
Mm.
But again, that's like a whole level of like a red flag if
Yeah.
you're in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen endless things on social media from voice actors just saying, casual reminder to casting directors, do not close early because it isn't fair to anyone auditioning. It isn't fair, really, because what if those people who were wanting to audition but couldn't do it until, say, nearer the deadline, and then they suddenly get a message saying, oh, we kind of cut it short. We thank because we got too many things in this. Like, listen, I know you got a lot of auditions in, but it's not an excuse to cut it short. You should have expected this, especially if it was a huge project. So you can't just cut it back and use that as an excuse because there could have been other people who would have gone, I'd love to try out for this. I mean, no matter how long it takes, you look back on all those auditions and you make that decision. While only one comes out of it, say for example, I get it, if you're a small group or if it's just you and you've got like 600 auditions, it's going to take quite some time to go through all of them. And it's going to be exhausting, it's going to be tedious, but if you chose to cast people, you've got to deal with it. So, yeah, that's not, like I say, it's not an excuse to close early, but sometimes they just close early because they think, do you know what, I like the sound of this person, so I'm just going to cut everybody and take it. And I see what you mean about the worry now that I've mentioned that side of it, because it could always be that case as well. And then you either may figure that out or you may never know. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of worrying in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I can always imagine like so stuff like if there's a college student who needs like a film project kind of thing. It's like that's like the thing that to me it you try to like understand the director's perspective as much
Mm.
because say it's a college student, he's got a deadline. He can't like wait this long for somebody to just miraculously show up
Mm.
who he will pick. So it's like you have to understand that maybe somebody has like this deadline that's not even the deadline for the cast. That it's like, oh, I only have like this many days, like 10 days to do it, but I wanted the cast thing to happen for like maybe a few more days. But again, it's like maybe they didn't there's again, early casting is like the biggest sort of red flag that VAs are looking at now,
Mm.
but it's also like you need to understand what is going through the director's head. Is if it's literally just like, oh, I like this person, I'm gonna pick them and close the casting.
Mm.
That can be seen as the red flag.
Yeah.
Just that they like the voice and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna close everything else. Yeah, that's not good. But if you have like a scenario like I said before, if it's they have a deadline, they can't like keep this up for too long, then that's where it's like that's when it gets tricky.
Mm.
But again, it's however you find yourself in that scenario, you'll have to take it with a grain of salt, but also try to understand what the director is feeling at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're doing auditions as well, and you get the idea of what the character's kind of like with the personality, or even just a picture of them with a little bit of their backstory. What gives you the idea of how I'm going to make this character sound in the audition? What makes you feel that this is the voice I'm going to settle on for them?
Uh, whew, that's a really good question. Um, I think most of the time I will look at the direction of what the director wants and try to like see what I can do with it. If it's something like, you're just casually talking to someone, you could be like, "All right, so what are we going to do today? Are we going to go to this place? We could hit up that place over there." Maybe that sounds great, but if there's like, "Oh, you have to be a little more spunk about it." So you're like, "All right, so what do you want to do today, man? Like we could go to this place, we could there's that coffee shop over there. It has such great like matchas that I love." So it's like you have to try to experiment with, like, you always want to be able to put yourself in the scene. Not
Mm.
even so much that you're the character. Try to think of it like you're the person in the scene and then figure out like what would you say in this moment?
Yeah.
And then be like, "Okay, so this is what I would say. What would my character say?" Because they're like laid back, or maybe they have like bursts of emotional energy, and it's like, "Okay, so this is my take. All right, man, so what do you want to do today? We could go hit up the like coffee shop over there. I think they have like this really good matcha that I've tried before." And then like this is the character. "All right, man. So, what do you want to do today? We could go to that coffee shop. Oh, you know that they got like that new matcha thing? It's so good. You gotta try it." So it's like you want to be able to know what your brain is gonna think, and then what your character is gonna think.
Ah. Yeah, it's a good way to go about it, really. I mean, what I mean, a lot of directors do say, put yourself in the character's mind. You're not you anymore. You're them. This is what they're going through. This is what's happening to them right now. This is their personality. What do you think they're going to sound like at this moment? What's their voice? What's their accent? And to just jump into that, it's exciting, but it's also nerving at the same time. Because you think,
Yeah,
am I getting this accurately? But it is a weird feeling, but at the same time, you're making it your own, and I think that's what they're also looking for.
yeah. But again, this is totally my personal way of doing it. Is I will try to do it like me.
Yeah.
If it's close to what they want, then I can just maybe tweak it a little bit. But if it's something different, then I kind of have like a base of what I should sound like. That's
Mm.
how I've seen it most of the time when I'm auditioning, is my voice is the base of what it should sound like. Now, I just need to take like the adjectives of what they want and then put it in and then tweak it.
Yeah.
Like just tweak it enough to where it sounds like what they want. So it's still me, but
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah. It's like really, really build yourself up, make it feel like it's your own character.
Yeah, because just to be like tossed into the scene, yeah, you start to think, well, what am I supposed to sound like? I don't know what this person wants. I don't know what the character is supposed to feel at this point. If you're able to if you're able to personally feel like you're in the scene, then you can start to like change it up. You can
Yeah.
you can become the character. It's almost like you're slowly turning into the character. Like your hair changes color, maybe your face structure changes. It's like you're almost you're almost like taking a clay of you and then just molding it into the character.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I absolutely get that. Can be hard, but it's part of the profession, I guess.
Absolutely.
Is there any characters that, whether they have voices or not, that you like, that you've ever thought, do you know, wouldn't it be fun if I could voice them?
Travis Willingham. Travis Willingham, if you don't know, or if people who listen don't know, he's one of the guys who are in Critical Role.
I love
He
Travis
plays
Willingham.
Oh my god, he's such a great dude. He's so fun. But yeah, like he plays Grog in that. I love Grog. He is like such a character that I so like vibe with, that when I learned later that he played Ace in One Piece and Colonel Mustang in Full Metal Alchemist, like Brotherhood, I was like, dude, that was you? You sound awesome in that. And I'm just like, to be able to sound something like him would be like so cool.
Yeah.
Just to have that like dynamic voice, but to be like a little bit goofy with it.
Yeah.
That's like, to me, that's what I love.
He's got one of those voices where you just hear it in any character and then you know who it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he's heard that much that it's become so familiar in the VA community now, and you just hear it and you're like, wait, I know who that is!
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, to me, that's always stuff like with, Travis and Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
He has such a like iconic voice. Wolverine obviously, but like to hear him in other things, like I'll watch a movie and I start listening to this character and I'm like, is that Steve Bloom?
Mm,
Yeah, that's Steve Bloom. Oh my goodness. Like, how did they get him in this? And he just sounds awesome.
yeah. He's another one that a lot of people look up to as well, and like I say, another recognisable voice no matter what he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you who else is good as well is Matthew Mercer.
Oh my goodness, Matt. Everyone in Critical Role is like such an icon.
Yes.
Like, it's so easy to just find everyone in Critical Role and be like, oh, Matt is in at least like 5 games that I can think of. And then you got Travis, and then like everyone in that group is so fun. They are so funny. They are so lively. Like, you can feel like you're a part of the table, just like listening to everything they're doing, like in Critical Role, and then other stuff that they do, like with Vox Machina and stuff. Like, they have such a great chemistry together that it just makes whatever they do fun.
Yeah. I mean, the majority in that group are voice actors as well, so they know how to vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've not really listened to Critical Role as such, but I am familiar with it very much, and definitely sounds like a really fun thing to just sit and watch and to listen to and just to have a chill out with. And I'd love to give it a listen one day.
Yeah, a lot of their campaigns, like if you watch like the videos, they're like at least 4 hours minimum. So
Wow.
it is a little bit of a take, but honestly, it's such a like rewarding, even if it's just like, something to hear in the background, because I've done that so many times where I'm like doing something, like I'm eating or I'm cooking or whatever, and I just hear them in the background and I hear like the adventures and I can just like picture it in my brain. And then I'm like, oh, that sounds so cool what they're doing.
Like, they're not only like making voices for these characters that they've made, but they're telling a story at the same time, and you have to be and you know that they've done like audiobooks somewhere down the line, because if they tell it that well, you know they've done something like that. They know how to tell a story and be very proud of that and be so confident in their words, and that it's so engaging that it pulls you in. Even if you're new to it, I imagine, like a lot of new listeners like myself, I imagine it would probably just reel you in straight away and think, I want to know what goes on. I want to know what's happening.
Yeah, D&D is like such an easy way to like find people who can vibe with you. Like, granted, it does take a little time. I'm not going to say that it's like the moment you step in, you're going to find the people you want. But it's such an easy way to like just explore and just have fun. Like, I want so badly to like find a bunch of people and do D&D. Like, either I'm a player or I try to be the DM, but that's like when that happens.
Yeah. It's a matter of when and rather not if, because if you really want to play it and join in with people, it's definitely going to be a when are you going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It takes a bit of practice to learn to play. I mean, personally, I couldn't get into it. I tried, but I don't think it was for me, but I do enjoy listening to what people come up with in their own campaigns and things like that. But being a part of it myself, I don't know. I guess I just found it a little frustrating, and it just wasn't for me. But
Mm.
my sister-in-law loves it. Like, she does campaigns with her friends, and she absolutely enjoys it. And I've got a group of friends who enjoy playing it as well. I mean, one of them is a regular DM as well, so he really knows how it's played.
Yeah. I would always say like if there's a person who wants to just like watch D&D, I would always recommend Critical Role and Legends of Evantris. They are such a fun group that I just watch them almost not every day, but a good bit. They are a fun group as well. I totally recommend both groups if you ever find yourself wanting to watch some D&D.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely try and give them a listen when I can. Anybody who's ever asked the question, I want to become a voice actor, what do I do? What's the first piece of advice you'd give them?
That is a hard one. Like it does seem like a simple thing, but it's very hard to try to like know what to say to somebody who wants to be a voice actor. It's it's really like I feel like the first question I would ever do is this a hobby or is this a career?
Mm,
Because if it's a hobby, then it's like, okay, like get like get your blankets, get some pipes and make a little booth for yourself. Try to, get a quick mic, do some little auditions here and there. If it's just a hobby to you, then you can just play around with it. But if you're like really wanting this to be a career, you need to. It's funny to say you need to study. You
mm,
need to know your voice. You need to know the industry you're getting into, and you need to know like where do you need to like get the experience from? Do you
mm.
get it from little workshops here and there? Do you go to a big and again, do you go to a big name and maybe you just pay this one big like voiceover 101 thing and then you do the other stuff later? Like classes, booth. Booth is like the biggest thing you can do is you need to have your room like soundproof as much as you possibly can.
Mm.
Right now, I'm in a basement with like I bought a booth building thing like on Amazon, but it still works for me.
Yeah.
I think later on I'll try to like, get more like uh voice proof like stuff like, the panels that you put on the walls or just something to like add to the acoustics or whatever.
Mm.
But to be able to do that, to find a very like reliable mic, I have the Rode um, NT1 5th gen. It's always a great mic for this one, but again, experiment. Find you want to be able to ask people. Also, that don't be afraid to ask for advice.
Mm.
Getting advice from somebody who might have like just that little bit more experience than you can help you. I have asked my coach, I've asked people online, just like, hey, what's an interface that I need or what's a mic that I want? And, people will give you like tips. And maybe you look, maybe you find one, maybe it's a little expensive.
Mm.
And that's another thing about like if this is a career, it's gonna be a little expensive. It's
Yep.
gonna take a little bit of your bit of cash out of your wallet. I know I've definitely done that.
Mm-hmm. Same.
But if you're like if you are committed to this, you need to put in the cash. You need to put in the time. That's like the thing that you want. You need to show that you are dedicated to this.
Oh, definitely. It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it at the end of the day, especially if you want this to be a career.
Yeah. And again, with stuff like rejection, that's going to be, and, you know, every voiceover has said it, you are going to have to get used to rejection.
Yes.
It's like the biggest thing that you got to deal with. It sucks, but it is going to happen more times than you can count.
Mm.
I know I have had at least 100 bare minimum, like, that I can think of that I got rejected, and it sucks. It really does.
Yeah.
But it's going to be okay. It's going to lead you to the next thing. Whether it's a month or whether it's a day, a week, month, year, whatever. Again, it took me almost 2-ish years to finally get a gig that I can finally, put out there again later that this is my first voice. And it's so fulfilling. Oh my goodness. When I got that email, I was over the moon that I got it.
Wow, I'll
But
bet.
again, it's such a dedicated career if this is what you want. But it's really fulfilling when you get those roles.
It really is. You will get more roles in the future if you absolutely keep at it and you put all your dedication, education, hard work into this one thing. No matter how many no's you get, you will get a yes.
Sooner or later, it has to be a yes.
Yes, it absolutely will. Don't give up no matter how hard this is, because this is a hard career. It is challenging, it is competitive, but just push forward, because someone out there will want you for something. For just to kind of get off the voice acting topic for this point in time, what other hobbies do you like to do? Like, what sort of things do you like to do when you're not in the booth?
I think most of what I've done outside of voiceover is going to work. That's its own thing. Usually it's just, playing some sports, kind of just, I try my best to get into shape.
Yeah.
I usually have a makeshift gym in my room because gyms aren't really that cheap nowadays, especially for like monthly stuff, but I do with what I got.
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm just, hanging out, just whatever comes my way.
Oh, that's the way to go, really. Just live life outside of work or voice acting or anything that you do, and just do what makes you happy. Because the booth isn't all you do, and that's kind of what I want to keep reminding people of. We're still people. We just do what people do. So we're just about close to the time to wrapping up, unfortunately. So the last question I will ask you is a one I ask every guest that comes here near the end. Is there anything about me that you would like to know, that you'd like to ask me a question? I know it's not an easy one.
Yeah, it's like a quick. Hey, do this one thing before you leave. Okay. What would you say is the one thing about voiceover that makes you want to like keep going with it?
Oh wow. I'd probably say it's the amount of ideas that people have for all these stories and all these characters, these worlds that they create. They just fascinate me because it always reminds me how much imagination people have, how much thought they have, and inspiration that they carry, and it just really wants me to really help them push this project forward and just really bring it to life. If it's something I look at and I think, wow, I really like how this looks, damn, I want to help them out, I will absolutely audition for it. And yeah, again, if I don't get picked, I get bummed out, but at the end of the day, I know other people are helping, but I really still want to follow them and see how it goes. So I'm never bitter about it. If I really like it, I just say, if I can help, I can help. If you don't want me, that's okay. I'll just see what happens. And if you do over auditions in the future, I'll give it another try. You never know. And I just feel happier knowing that I've at least tried to help somebody, or if I'm picked, I am helping to bring their story to life. Because it's never easy. I mean, the indie world is not only competitive, but it's challenging. And especially with the way like things like Hollywood are or AAA stuff, and to push back at that with your own budget, your own group of people, or even if it's just you on your own, it's always worth getting your ideas out there and pursuing that. And to get other people to help you feels, you feel personally that it's more possible. And I just want to give that a sort of boost to people whenever I can. And I guess that's what makes me want to, push for more auditions, especially for indie projects.
I absolutely love that answer. That was great.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I've never really been asked that before. Funnily enough, actually, it just how I've always felt. I just like helping people. I just don't want to see people, leave anything behind. Like if they've got a dream to push something forward or an idea, if I can help in any way, I'll gladly do it.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. So, with that, we are coming to the end of the podcast now. So, thank you so much for joining. I've really enjoyed the chat we had.
I did too. It was very fun.
Yeah. We learn from each other, and these chats are very good for helping out with that. So, everybody else, thank you for coming and listening. We will be back again soon with another guest, as usual, until we run out of guests. But honestly, I highly doubt that would ever happen.
Yeah, I don't think you're done with this for a good while.
No, there are way too many people out there, so I will definitely be back several more times after this. But next time, who we'll speak to, I don't know. Again, it will be a surprise. But I will see you all in the next one. Bye!
Bye, everyone.